As the law says, if someone murdered, he or she will be murdered. But God says you shall not kill. Now to those judges who do pass death judgments, to those who has murdered another person, will they also enter the kingdom of heaven? Because they have also killed by passing death judgment to another person, claiming they are following the laid down rules and laws. Okay. So the question is, those who are judging others, who are passing death sentences, the judges, will they make heaven? Are they not also killing? Then okay, I'm going to add one more to it. What of the soldiers too? The soldiers who will shoot, who will go to war, and they are allowed to kill. Are you there? Will they also go to heaven because they have killed? And also the officers with guns too, who have permission to shoot in case there is an open attack. Will they also go to heaven because they have killed? All right. So I'll start from the judge, then I'll move to the officers. Now, a judge, are you there, will not go to hell because he or she has passed a death sentence. Are you there? If what the judge is doing is according to the law, are you there, without allowing corruption, then that judge is going to heaven, even if he or she has sentenced more than 50 people to death. Are you there? Because that thing is according to the law, are you there? She's not a murderer before the eyes of God. Are you there? Because even God instructs his children to obey the law. Are you getting what I'm saying? That's it. God knows for example, they came to Jesus one time and then they were asking Jesus some questions around tax and things like that. And Jesus picked the coin. He said, whose face? Jesus picked the coin. He wanted to answer their question, but he first asked them a question. Should we pay tax? Should we not pay? Those kind of questions. Jesus now picked the coin and then he told them, he said, whose face is on this coin? He said, the face of Caesar. He now said, okay, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Are you there? What that means is that as a child of God, being a Christian, being a citizen of heaven, doesn't mean that you will not be a good citizen of your nation on earth. So if there are laws in the land, obey the laws of the land. Are you there? So as long as the judge is working according to the law and is not making judgment because of what he or she will gain, that judge is going to heaven. Those people that are sentenced to death will not be on our own account. Are you there? Although being a judge is a very sensitive job because you have to ensure that you are doing the right thing. You have to ensure that you are working according to the law and you are not influenced by anybody to do something wrong. So as long as the judge is acting by the law, God will not see what they are doing as a sin. It doesn't matter the numbers of people that were sentenced to death. Are you there? Okay, the Lord is bringing this to my heart too. Do we see lawyers as sinners? Because it's commonly, people just see lawyers as sinful people. Well, lawyers are not sinners. Are you there? It all depends on how they handle the law. When you begin to dilute the law, manipulate the law, are you there, to suit your taste, then you are already sinning. So it's possible to have a godly lawyer. Some people even believe that all lawyers will go to hell. It's not true. Although we may have many of them who are corrupt, but I believe so strongly that not all of them are corrupt. It depends on what they are doing with the law. So a lawyer that has the fear of God, are you there, and is following the law without allowing anybody to influence him or her with money or with any other valuable things, that one is in the will of God. That one is not a sinner. Are we together? So that's it. What of the officers, the military men, the police who have their permission to shoot? What of those people they have killed? Have they not also murdered? Now, because that thing they are doing is permitted, is by instruction, is according to the law. Doesn't matter the numbers of people that soldiers killed on the field while they are fighting the terrorists, even if one person kills 200, using maybe a bomb or something, that thing is not a sin to the soldier. One is fighting to defend the territory. Are you there? Sometimes you need to kill one to save hundreds. Are you there? So by law, they are the one that can do that. But you now, you are not a military person. If you go and shoot one person, you have sinned. Why? Because you don't have the legal right to do that. Are you getting what I'm saying? You are not a police officer, then you are shooting. That thing you are doing is a sin. So if a soldier kills, are you there? On the war front, are you there? That killing is not a sin because law supports it. It's a legal killing. But if you shoot anybody randomly when you are not a military person, you have sinned. That's case one. At the same time, if the soldier is not on the war front, and maybe he is at home, and then somebody just spoke anyhow to his wife, and he pick up his gun and he go and shoot that person, that soldier has killed. That is a sin because that killing is not a legal killing. So now we know that although they have the right to kill, are you there? But it is under certain conditions. When you see that somebody is putting a threat on the life of many other people, so you can kill that one. Are you there? To save the lives of others. Are you there? That's the instruction. That is according to the law. So if they do that, it's not a sin. But to now kill for reasons that are baseless, that one is a sin. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's it. So the fact that you are a military man and you are killing by law, it doesn't mean you have sinned against God. So we have a lot of soldiers who will be in heaven. We have judges who will be in heaven. We have a lot of lawyers who will be in heaven. Are you there? So that's it. As long as what you are doing is not corrupt, we can even have corrupt doctors. But for those among them who are godly, you see them with God. So what is important is that we stick to the law and we don't abuse the law and we don't allow corruption in our hearts. That's the key. Now, to further buttress this point, David was a military man. He was a military man, but yet, you know the implication of that. He killed a lot of people during war. Are you there? And God did not talk about that. But the day David now killed Uriah, the wife of Bathsheba, God dealt with him for that. God began to talk about that one. So it means that there's a killing that is illegal. That is a legal killing. There is another one that is illegal. Are you there? So if you are a civilian, you are not a military person, you can't say you want to kill for any reason. If there's anything threatening your life, go and report. But as a military person, if there's something threatening the life of others, and you know this thing can affect many people, you can handle it because of who you are. But at the same time, being a military person does not mean that you can now kill anyhow. So the killings that David did on the wall, are you there on the at the war front? I mean, those killings were holy killings because he was doing that to defend the territory. So when the soldiers goes and they fight to defend their territory, they are not committing sin. Doesn't matter the numbers of people that dies in the process. Are you getting what I'm saying? But when the soldier now returns and then is now misbehaving, that one will be called sin. So the same God that kept quiet, even when he saw David kill a lot of people at the war front, the same God now reacted the day David killed Uriah. Why? That killing was not it's not according to law. David only killed Uriah because he wanted to cover up something. That's not a legal killing. So that is a sin. So the people who are in the military, there's a law that guides how they use the gun. So anyone that now breaks the law, goes against the law, will sin. But if you use the gun by the law, it is not a sin to God. So God uses the law of man to regulate man in that regard. Are we together?